the vote to approve the fiscal year 22 CIP request is recommended by the Capital Planning Subcommittee.
One thing I noticed was it seemed like the track and the bleachers were out of order in priority level. Typically, you want to work from the inside out, so it would make sense to put the track higher priority than the bleachers. And then my other comment would be is the need for generators. Can we go over the need for generators at some of the other schools?
Sure. So the bleachers and the track, those are combined. We want to do those at the same time. We don't want to do one before the other. Those are two that would probably want to be doing at the same exact time because they're going to incorporate each other in getting it done. So you see them listed as 4 and 5, but they're actually one unit that should be done. But we're hoping that we can get them both on the same bid when we get this out to come back. On the generators, they're aged. These buildings need backup power. These backup power is for the lighting, is for the exit lighting that comes to all the buildings. And if we don't have backup generators, the fire department and the building department are not going to be happy about that. Every year I walk these buildings and the fire department makes sure that the generators fire off and that our exit lights work and everything is powered correctly. That has to be on the generator. Some of these generators are over 25 years old. You don't have a 25-year-old motor in your car. What happens is it starts to break down. What can happen? You go to fire it off, it doesn't work. We don't want that to happen. We need to start figuring out how we're going to upgrade these generators.
In terms of the high school project, I think that's also important. It's a, we've invested in the turf up there, and we have a lot of town usage on that whole project. And so the longer we don't have that functional and working, and it's not just for football, it's for townwide programs and music and rentals and all those kinds of things, it's kind of a detriment to our town and its functioning.
If I recall correctly, as an RTM member, the Municipal Building Committee was established to consolidate and make all departments have to funnel their requests to one area so that, for instance, if a tractor had to go to the Allen Avenue School and the town was going to put in a water line to expand housing there or facilitate something like that, they could consolidate that one tractor, not have tractor come in 2 months apart and double the pay and things like that. As a design, I think, to consolidate knowledge within the town so that we effectively utilize whatever resources were available. So that's my memory of how the Municipal Building Committee kind of came into being. With regard to the capital projects, I took a tour of the district generators a couple of years ago. To say they're 25 years old would be generous. I don't think you can buy spare parts for those things anymore, and I'm willing to bet they go back to the 1960s. We are obligated by the state to maintain these generators in place, and I think that they were commenced, if you will, as part of the air raid shelter system as a result of the nuclear scares that we had in the 50s and 60s. So I know how old they are. I know how, I wouldn't say they're not functional, but boy, if we had to rely on those for that, I don't see it happening. So in my mind, I would move 10 to 3B. I'm not going to make a motion to that, but I'm going to vote against it just for that reason. So who is the chairperson of the Capital Improvement Committee?
I did.
Do you want to make the motion?
So moved.
So we have a motion on the floor that by Catherine Hobbs to adopt the summary of capital projects 2022 CIP. John Costello, you served on that committee. Would you second that?
Second.
This is a roll call vote on the motion. John Costello?
Yes.
Ethan Hamilton?
No.
Catherine Hobbs?
Yes.
James McKenna votes no. Kevin O'Donnell?
Yes.
Sarah Stone?
Yes.
Carol Wagner?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-2.